Hello everyone, welcome to Prelims Magnum crash course of PMF IAS. Now in this crash course, we will try to go through entire section of polity and governance. And in that process, we will not only go through the basics or we will understand the basics, but we will also associate or try to understand recent developments or recent current events which you can call. So हम क्या करेंगे? हम basics देखेंगे, current developments देखेंगे, and then we will also, along with that, the third component of our discussion would be the previous year's questions. And based on these three understandings, we will try to analyze the UPSC Prelims examination in the section of polity and governance, and then have a thorough understanding of some of the constitutional provisions which are generally asked. Now this is a crash course, so I will expect you to at least go through your topic once, but still we will have a thorough discussion on each of the important points. So on this note, just to give you a brief understanding, sort of an orientation कि हम करेंगे क्या, let's go through some of the previous year's questions to give you a hint as to how we are going to conduct these sessions, which would be ultimately beneficial to you. Because see, prelims में ultimately हमें करना क्या है? We have to have a clarity about our basics, and if there are any current developments, then we have to know that वो जो current developments है, वो हमारे syllabus के किस part से correspond करता है. For example, I'll just give you an example. Recently, there has been a Supreme Court judgment saying that material resources cannot be, or any private property cannot be acquired, or rather all private property cannot be acquired with respect to under Article 39B. Or let's say another example of the judgment of Supreme Court with respect to AMU, Aligarh Muslim University, as a minority institution. So when we talk about minority institution, Article 30 comes into the picture. So all these things we need to understand. So here, let's go through some of these questions based on the previous year's papers. Now if you look at the syllabus ज़्यादा कुछ detail देता नहीं, it simply says Indian Polity and Governance, Constitution, Political System, Panchayati Raj, Public Policy, Rights Issue, etc. But of late, अगर हम previous year's paper को analyze करें, especially in Polity and Governance, so एक चीज़ जो हम ये देखेंगे कि UPSC have started asking particularly from constitutional provision, and I have taken some sample questions from pyqs. Let's go through these questions to make you understand that of late कैसे सवाल पूछे जा रहे हैं. Now to give you a brief understanding, these are the different sections which we will be dealing with separately in our regular lectures, such as constitutional development, political theory, union states and their conflict, citizenship, preamble, fundamental rights, DPSP and their correlation, criminal justice, about the parliament, executive, legislature and judiciary, and also important constitutional office holders, Indian judiciary, aspects related to Indian elections, panchayats and municipalities, governance related issues and other institutions which are in news. So these are the things which we are going to see. Coming to the questions, as this will give you a clarity कि ये crash course आपको कैसे help करेगा. Let's take up this question asked in the year 2024. ये क्या पूछ रहा है? Which of the following statements is correct as per the Constitution of India? Now look at this statement, as per the Constitution of India. So this term is very important. Now look into this question. Which of the following statements are correct in respect of a money bill in the parliament? And first statement is Article 109 mentions special procedure in respect of money bills. The point being that UPSC has started asking particularly about the constitutional provision, and hence we need to have a thorough understanding of that as well, जो हम करेंगे ही पूरे crash course में. Now let us go through these provisions. Before going through these provisions, एक चीज मैं आपको ये बता देना चाहता हूँ कि ये वाला जो question है regarding interstate trade and commerce and interstate quarantine, this has some relevant with current affairs. जब COVID हुआ था, I'm sure you must have remember कि there was huge migration of people from cities to back to their villages. And at that point of time, the government used to regulate not only their migration but also their quarantine aspects. And in that sense, we need to know about whether their travel, interstate quarantine, migration, trade and commerce, etc. ये जो federal relations हैं, ये जो center state relations है, when we talk in terms of division of functions between the center and states, where do they fall? So the options are: interstate trade and commerce is a state subject under state list. नाउ दिस इज द फर्स्ट थिंग विच वी स्टडी. जब हम लक्ष्मीकांत पढ़ते हैं तो हम यही पढ़ते हैं कि भाई between center state relationship, particularly regarding the financial relationship, interstate trade and commerce is a union subject, and this is also provided under the union list. So union list, state list and concurrent list provides for legislative distribution of power, है ना. वो ये बताता है कि भाई यूनियन लिस्ट में सेंटर लॉ बना सकता है, स्टेट लिस्ट में सिर्फ स्टेट बना सकता है, कॉन्करेंट लिस्ट में दोनों बना सकते हैं. Second statement, interstate migration is a state subject under state list. Interstate quarantine is a union subject under union list, and corporation tax is a state subject under the state list. Now, see, you cannot answer these questions unless you know certain basic aspects. And these aspects have been provided particularly under part 13, which deals with trade and commerce and intercourse within the territory of India. And for this, these aspects have been provided under the union list of the 7th schedule. Now look into this part. Entry 42, interstate trade and commerce, union list. Interstate, entry 81, interstate migration and interstate quarantine. So ये भी union list. And look at entry 85, corporation tax. So ये भी entry, this is also under the union list. So if we go back to our question, interstate trade and commerce is a state subject. No, it is in the union list. Interstate migration is a subject in the state list. नहीं, ये union list में. So this is correct because quarantine and migration both were under union list, and corporation tax is also under the union list and not under the state list. So this is also incorrect. Hence the correct answer in this one is C. So how can we easily come to the answer, to come to the conclusion? By looking at those respective entries under the union list. ये क्वेश्चन देखते हैं. अच्छा, before that, one more thing, all these aspects are provided under article 301 and 302, and in this part it says 301 says freedom of trade, commerce and intercourse. Subject to the provisions of this part, trade, commerce and intercourse throughout the territory of India shall be free, but Parliament may impose any law. And ultimately it says the Indian polity has a federal structure. This was the point I was referring to. Ki ultimately it's about the center-state relationship. But an arrangement is necessary to ensure harmonization and facilitate interstate trade and commerce without hindrances. Hence, intertrade, state and commerce, and some elements of intrastate trade, that is within the state, are central responsibility. So these are central responsibility. So in our crash course, we will also study in detail about GST, as this has been added through the Constitution 101st Amendment. Moving further to another question. Sorry. Now this question, Article 109. So let's go through Article 109 first, and then we will try to answer that particular question. Now, Article 109 mentions about special procedure in respect of money bill. ठीक है? A money bill shall not be introduced in the Council of States. So two statements have been answered here, right? First, that special procedure in respect of money bill, and second, a money bill shall not be introduced in the Council of States. And if you go back to the question again, then see, Article 109 mentions special procedure in respect of money bills. This is correct. The statement is correct. Second, a money bill shall not be introduced in the Council of States. So first two statements are correct. For the next statements, that is 3 and 4, let's again go back to Article 109, the second part. So it says, after a money bill has been passed by House of the People, it shall be transmitted to the Council of State. So it has to originate in the Lok Sabha, then it is transmitted to Rajya Sabha for its recommendations, and the Rajya Sabha shall within a period of 14 days from the date of its receipt of the bill return the bill to the House of the People with its recommendation. So Rajya Sabha अपना recommendation दे सकता है, and the House of the People may thereupon either accept or reject all or any of the recommendations of the Council of States. So it is not mandatory for the Lok Sabha to accept any of the recommendations of Rajya Sabha. And if we go back again to these options, third one says Rajya Sabha can either approve the bill or suggest changes but cannot reject the bill. So this is also correct. And the fourth one says amendments to a money bill suggested by Rajya Sabha have to be accepted by Lok Sabha. नहीं, बिल्कुल भी नहीं. Need not be accepted by Lok Sabha. It depends. वो चाहे तो एक्सेप्ट करे, चाहे तो ना करे. Hence, select the correct answer using the code given below. So C, 1, 2 and 3 is the correct selection, correct option. Now look into this question, and it talks about money bill. So in this regard, you need to know the various definition of money bill. तो मनी बिल कहाँ डिफाइंड है? सेक्शन आर्टिकल 110 में डिफाइंड है. इट डिफाइन मनी बिल्स एंड इट इंक्लूड्स, व्हाट डज इट इंक्लूड? इट इंक्लूड्स imposition, abolition, remission, alteration or regulation of any tax, regulation of the borrowing of money or giving of any guarantee by the government of India, or amendment of any law with respect to financial obligations undertaken, custody of consolidated fund or the contingency fund of India, appropriation of monies out of consolidated fund of India, in declaring any expense to be expenditure charged upon the CFI or increasing of the amount of any such tax, receipt of money on account of consolidated fund of India or the public account of India, or the custody or issue of such money, or the audit of the accounts of union or of state, or any matter incidental to or specified above. हर वो चीज जो यहाँ से यहाँ तक दी हुई है वो मनी बिल का पार्ट है according to article 110. And if you go back to these provisions, then you will see that the first, a bill shall be deemed to be a money bill if it contains only provisions relating to imposition, abolition, remission or alteration of any tax. Yes, this is correct. Absolutely correct. What else? A money bill has provisions for the custody of consolidated fund of India or contingency fund of India. Yes, this is also correct. What else? A money bill is concerned with the appropriation of monies of the contingency fund of India. Nahi, consolidated fund of India. See this one. है ना? So you have to be very particular with respect to these. So which of the following statement is not correct? So this one, C, in this case is not correct. Okay. So this is how UPSC is framing question, and you need to be very thorough with these constitutional provisions. Now let's take up another two questions. This one asked in 2020, that one asked in 2016. Let's take up this particular question first. It says that consider the following statements. First, Constitution of India define its basic structure in terms of federalism, secularism, fundamental rights and democracy. इस तरह के क्वेश्चंस बहुत आते हैं कि Constitution of India has defined this and this. Constitution of India has defined that and that. First of all, this basic structure is a judicial construct given in the famous case of Kesav Nanda Bharti, and it is not provided for or defined in the Constitution. Incorrect. Second, Constitution of India provides for judicial review. Now look into this word within quotes, judicial review. If you open the document of Constitution of India and Control F करो, लिखो judicial review, ये word दिखेगा नहीं. So the term judicial review is implicit under Article 13, 226, 32 and other provisions. So in this sense, and also according to the official answer of UPSC, this statement is also incorrect, which says Constitution of India provides for judicial review to safeguard the citizens' liberties and to preserve the ideals on which Constitution is based. Yes, it is implicit, but ये word mentioned नहीं है. Hence, this is also incorrect. So, which of the statements given above is are correct? D. Neither one nor two. ये क्या कहता है? Parliament of India acquires the power to legislate on any item in the state list in the national interest if a resolution to that effect is passed by. Now, talking about distribution of legislative powers, as I've told you that Parliament is empowered to make law on union list and concurrent list. Similarly, state is empowered to make law on state list and concurrent list. But there are certain circumstances in which even Parliament can make law on state list in national interest, and this is clearly provided under Article 249, which says if the Council of States has declared by resolution supported by not less than 2/3 of the member present and voting that it is necessary in the national interest that Parliament should make laws with respect to any matter including GST matter enumerated in the state list. So Parliament can make a law if Rajya Sabha passes such a resolution किस majority से? By not less than 2/3 of the members present and voting. कहाँ लिखा हुआ है ये? लोकसभा तो हम डायरेक्टली रिजेक्ट कर दें. Rajya Sabha by simple majority and Rajya Sabha by majority of not less than 2/3 of its members present and voting. See, exact statement of the Constitution copied here. Hence the correct answer is D. Similarly, let's take up these two questions as well. It will give you a broader sense of understanding. ये पहले देखते हैं, which of the following is our exclusive powers of Lok Sabha? So Lok Sabha has certain powers, Raj Sabha has certain powers to ratify declaration of emergency. Now in this case we need to know emergency with respect to Article 352, 356 and 360. So in this sense, in this case we need to know ki whether Lok Sabha or Raj Sabha or both have powers to pass a motion of no confidence against the Council of Ministers. Now this can be answered with your general understanding that no confidence तभी move किया जाता है जब ये check करना हो whether the government has majority or not, and this can only be checked in Lok Sabha. Hence both Lok Sabha, this is an exclusive power of Lok Sabha. Hence it cannot be this is not the power of both Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha, and in fact the exclusive power of Lok Sabha only. Third, to impeach the President of India. So again, with respect to these, we need to know the constitutional provisions. Article 352, it says regarding emergency, if President is satisfied that a grave emergency exists whereby security of India or any part of the territory is threatened, whether by war or external aggression or armed rebellion, then he may by a proclamation make a declaration to that effect in respect of the whole or any part of the India. And this one says that proclamation issued under this part shall be laid before each house of the parliament, that is both Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha. So regarding emergency, both Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha has equal powers. If we look at procedure for impeachment, then it can be initiated in either house of the parliament. So it says when a president is to be impeached for violation of constitution, the charge shall be preferred by either house of parliament, that is Lok Sabha or Raj Sabha. Okay, so both Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha have equal powers. And if we talk about introduction of no confidence motion, the source is Article 75 Clause 3, which says Council of Ministers shall be collectively responsible to the House of the People. See this, to the Lok Sabha only. Hence for that, the answer would be, based on the question, which of the following is our exclusive power of Lok Sabha? 2 only, B. Okay, so you see, we need to have a thorough understanding of all these topics. Coming to this question, consider the following statements. First statement C says that Supreme Court of India has held in some judgments that reservation policies made under Article 16 Clause 4 of the Constitution of India would be limited by Article 335 for maintenance of efficiency of administration. Now this part deals with the aspect of reservation given to other backward class, scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, and along with the aspect of efficiency of administration provided under Article 335. And the courts starting from Devadasan, Balaji have focused on this aspect that ठीक है आप रिजर्वेशन दे दो बट इतना मत दे दो कि बाकियों के लिए जगह ना बचे, and also कि इतना रिजर्वेशन मत दे दो particularly in public employment that it impacts the efficiency of administration. And this aspect has been mentioned under Article 335. But Article 335 never defines what is administration of or efficiency of administration. Second statement says Article 335 of the Constitution of India defines the term efficiency of administration. No, this is incorrect. If you look at Article 335, it simply says the claims of the members of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes shall be taken into consideration consistently with the maintenance of efficiency of administration in the making of appointments to services and posts in connection with affairs of the union or state. कहीं पे define नहीं किया है efficiency of administration. Hence the second statement is incorrect, but the first statement is correct. So the correct answer here also becomes C. That is, statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. So you can answer these questions only by having a thorough understanding of the topic. And what we will do in this crash course is to go through every topic in a thorough manner along with the PYQs and keeping in track the recent current developments as well. So I hope you have a proper understanding that how we are going to conduct our crash course at PMF IAS. Thank you very much.